What's going on, guys? I am Corey here with Envision Media Works, and today I'm doing a quick overview of how I set up my timeline for my music video editing. Let's get into it. So first, what you want to do is grab either your iPhone or your iPad, because the LumaFusion is only used on Apple devices. So once you get your device, let's open up the app. Now, when your app opens, the first thing you want to look at is in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, which is a plus sign with a circle. So let's create our first project. I'm going to hit that. And as you can see in this opening, you have the option to either name your project, change the frame rate, or change the frame aspect, which is more so known as the aspect ratio. So let's go ahead and rename our project. Let's clear that out. I'm going to call mine LumaFusion Overview. That's good. Keep it like that. Keep it simple. Now let's talk about frame rate. Now, when I shoot and edit my music videos, I like to keep my timeline at a 24 frame per second timeline. That's just my particular choice. So if I wanted to change, I hit the arrow to the side, and as you can see, there's multiple options from 18 frames all the way up to 60 frames. But like I said, I like to keep mine at 24. Close that up. So let's talk about the aspect ratio, or the frame aspect section. Now, the 16:9, which is the default for mine, that's your traditional scene viewing angles of like TVs, computer screens, and things of that nature. If you want to change it, say if you wanted like Instagram stories or Snapchat stories, you go down to 9:16, which turns it vertical. Say if you wanted the taller posting for like Instagram, the 4:5. Of course, we know 1:1 is a square. That is a traditional viewing for Instagram. And you have multiple other settings, like if you had anamorphic lenses and things of that nature. You can find the correct layout or aspect ratio that you want. For this, I'm going to keep it at 16:9. Hit the plus button, and it created the project. So let's go over what's in front of us now that the project has been created. If you look in this main center portion right here, this is called your timeline. From this little grayed out area going up, that's your video side. And right up underneath that gray area going down, that's the audio side. So this little blue area right here, this is called the playhead. So wherever that little cursor or playhead is over your clip, that's what you're seeing at that given moment. Now let's look at the bottom. This is your timeline area down here. Lets you know exactly where you are on your clips. To the right side, you have 3 different icons. Now the first icon is the briefcase. If we hit the briefcase, if I had a clip selected in the timeline, I could select any of these other options, which you see like the info. If I want to get more info about that particular clip. If I wanted to clone the clip, detach the audio from the clip, and so on and so on. The next button, the add a clip button. Right here is kind of self-explanatory. If I wanted to add a voiceover, a blank clip, like a main title sequence or anything of that nature, I could find it right there. And if I had a clip selected, I could hit the scissor button, and it'll split the clip from, from one whole to 2, or however many cuts you want to make. All right, looking on the left side of the timeline, let's go over the audio selection. So as you see right now, all you can see is my main audio of what I can control. If I hit this button again, it goes away. If I hit it one more time, now I can see all 6 channels of audio in this timeline. I can control each one of them individually if I wanted to. But I'm going to hide that for right now. The next one, this little button right here, we're going to come back to that one. It's a very subtle button, but it makes a big difference in my type of editing, because I like to edit to the beat. So let's leave it alone for a second. And right up underneath that, we have our trash can, which is pretty self-explanatory. You'll select the clip in the timeline, then you hit that trash can, and it goes to the trash. Moving up to the top right, this complete section is our viewing section. If you look at the first icon up here, this is how you can create more projects. This is the project manager. You create more projects. You can move projects, send them to other people or other devices with LumaFusion. You can clone it. You can trash it. Over here, you can search for your other projects, because what happens is right now we'll have one project, but right here we'll have another and another, and they keep going in this list. So if you want to search or organize it a certain way, you can. Let's close that. Right here is the export button, and we'll come back to that later because we have nothing to export. That's why it's grayed out. Here's our settings button. Now you can take your time and go through each one of them. I'm just going to give a quick, brief run through. So the project settings, this controls your current project. Now go into global settings. Right here, you can make changes for all of your future projects to come. And this would be like your default setting. So if you remember going back to the beginning, when I hit create the first project, by default it had 24 frames per second and it had a 16:9 ratio. But you can change it for the future product. The help, self-explanatory. They got little quick reference guides and tutorial videos if you need more help. And then cleanup. If you have any old, temporary, or cache files you want to get rid of, you hit this little cleanup all. Select the sections you want to get rid of. Hit clean selected locations and then hit yes. And then delete them. Of course, I didn't have anything. Right here allows you to change your layout to different styles on whatever is comfortable to you. And I personally like the default one. And now right here in our top left, we have our media. So in this section, this is where you can get all of your clips, your music, your transitions. Everything is going to be in this section right here. So if you want to select music, you're going to hit this media icon or your source icon. And you can select any one of them. The Western Digital wireless drive, I had one. Story blocks has been added to it. Title, transitions, music imported, so on and so on. But I'm keeping mine in photos. Now let's click this button. Here are other sources where you can download your content. Most of these are either wirelessly or in cloud-based type content holders. And you can go through there and download your content if need be. Now let's go through the footage, find out what we want exactly, and bring it into our timeline. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Albums. Let's go to Phil J. And let's tap on the video clip. So as you can see, this is the whole video. It's already been edited. But if you move this little lever back and forth here, you can scrub through and find exactly where you want to pick your clips from. The part right above it, if you move those brackets, it narrows down the exact points that you want to actually use for the video. So say I want to use this selected portion. I long press the screen in that section and I drag it down to my timeline. So if I was to go to the beginning of my timeline, if I hit play, I got the rock now. I got the sauce. Wow. It'll start playing the clip I just brought in. Let's go back to the beginning. Now remember this button right here that I said we'll come back to? Let's engage that button. So right now, this is called the insert mode. Insert mode means that when you bring in a new clip, it's going to move your timeline based on the needs that it see fit. I personally don't like that because I edit to the beat with music videos. It's important that if I put a certain cut on a bass or a hi-hat or whatever, it needs to stay on that particular part that I placed. So what happens is you go from insert mode to overwrite mode. Once you engage that button, now I could bring in clips. Say I want a different clip. Now I could bring in different clips and just overwrite it. Sits on top. If I was to show you the other way, let's go back to insert mode. Bring in that same clip. Now it just pushed it backwards. See? First clip, second clip. Like I said, it's very important when you edit these music videos, you engage into overwrite mode. And that way you can make your cuts accordingly and it won't adjust your timeline. So say if the timeline right now has all of our edits and cuts that we want. What we're going to do is tap on this viewing spot one time, bring up these top row of icons. Let's hit this export button now that it's enabled. Right here we have 4 options. We can do export as a movie, export as audio only. You can do a project archive, which means that say I want to save the whole entire project with the files, my edits and everything. I can save all that into a compressed file, and I could probably send it to say another editor that has LumaFusion on their iPad, and they can edit it as well. Snapshot is self-explanatory, basically screenshots, whatever portion of the clip that you're on. So I'm gonna export this as a movie. So hit movies. You can select where you want yours to go. I'm gonna hit photos. And right here I make my final adjustments. So you can export as 4K, 2K, 1440, 3K, whatever, all the way down to 480p. I'm gonna keep mine as 1080p. Like I said, I keep mine as a 24 frame per second frame rate. Video quality, I like to have mine as high as I can go, which is ultra. And after that, I really don't touch anything else unless need be. I'm gonna leave mine at H.264. You can go to 265 if you want. You can select if you want just video or not the audio, so on and so on. My file format, .mov or MP4, just depends on where you put this video clips. It may need a .mov. Other than that, I just hit the export button, and as you see how fast it goes, just send straight out. And there it goes. If I just check my photos, go here, here's that clip.
I got the rock now. I got the sauce. Wow. I'ma shoot my shot. Can't be stopped.
All right, guys, if you like that tip and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell next to it to notify whenever I bring up another video. Please comment below what else you want to see in LumaFusion as far as like music video editing or maybe anything else. I'll be glad to make those videos. Until next time, peace.